Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Today with us we have Tom Tuning, who is the United Mutual First Vice President. The board had their regular open meeting on August 8th, and he is here to share with us some news and updates and other information that came out of that meeting. Welcome, Tom. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Great, great. So I understand you have a lot of topics that you're going to share with us today?
We have several of them.
I can imagine. I can imagine. So let's start off with, I understand we're in budget season, there's some budget talks and some of the challenges that the board is facing with that whole process. So let's elaborate on that, please.
Okay. We just looked at our third revision of the budget, which has been going on for a while now. The VMS staff's done a great job on it. But we face some challenges this year on the budget. We have a 60-year-old buildings in our community. And so we're looking at the pipes, the water lines, the sewer lines, the electrical, the painting, everything that plays a part in where our assessments go. We also have seen inflation over the last year that's been pretty substantial. So we're fighting a number of challenges to keep the assessments to a reasonable level. We've also seen a huge increase in property insurance this year, and so we expect that's going to go up close to 50%. So you'll see on your assessments, you have a basic United assessment, a GRF assessment, and then you'll see a property tax assessment also, and that's expected to be a substantial increase in addition to everything else. But we have to keep our reserves up. That's what takes care of our buildings. So that's all going to be finalized on our next board meeting in September 12th, I believe. That'll be the date for the adoption of the budget then.
Right.
So.
It sounds like, yes, the board is facing a lot of issues that face everyone across the nation with the inflation and, aging infrastructure. I'm sure you're aware that next year is our 60-year anniversary for the village. So yes, the maintenance is an issue. And, with the insurance, aren't wildfires a part of why it's so out of, ballooning right now? We have the devastating and heartbreaking situation in Maui, and we've had so many fires on the West Coast and in the mountain states. That contributes to it significantly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's been a huge impact to the insurance. Obviously, some insurance providers are even backing out of different areas where there are a lot of natural disasters, Florida, California, some other places too. So it has a huge impact.
Well, I know the board is working with VMS staff very closely and carefully to make sure that you can work to keep those assessments at a reasonable level. So
we certainly are, but at the same time we recognize that over the last number of years our reserves have been declining except for the COVID years. So we have to reverse that trend, and we have to keep our reserves at a good stable level. We're about 35% right now of the fully funded reserve amount, so we don't want to go below that kind of level.
I know the board will keep a close eye on
Right.
that. Let's talk a little bit about any approvals that took place at the meeting.
All right, we had a what's called a recognition agreement that was just approved. It's on 28-day review. That means the United members get a chance to look at it and comment on it, and it'll be voted on again at our next board meeting in September. But that item, we've always allowed loans from financial institutions in United, but this allows loans from non-financial institutions. Could be a relative, could be a friend, it could be an investor type company, but it allows the same opportunities for non-financial institutions as financial institutions. So nothing's changed on the requirements. You still have to have a certain income level, you still have to have certain assets. Everything's still the same, but it allows for a broader range of loans. And I would like to do a special thanks to the members that worked on this. They're not board members, they're just volunteers that have extensive background on this item area. And that's Robert Tucker, Richard LaPointe, Eric Carlson, and Ken Benson. So a special thank you to those people, and we always appreciate our members participating in the committees.
That's wonderful. And speaking of committees, there are a lot of things going on behind the scenes with United's various committees at that level. Any updates you'd care to share there?
Well, certainly those committees are so important to us, and every area we work on has a committee, and that's where the work gets done, is in the committee, not at the board meeting. So everything that gets done is done at a committee level and brought to the board. But there's a special committee that of 10 members, 10 board members, 3 from United, 3 from GRF, 3 from the Third, and then 1 from the Towers. And they're looking at where to place 40 employees, VMS employees, that are currently in lease space next to the community center, and to find Laguna Woods Village owned property to put those 40, relocate those 40 employees in. So those committee members are working real hard to find alternatives to where to place the VMS employees.
Yeah, that's been going on for quite some time. So as you know, you may or may not know, we are starting election season soon for Third, United, and GRF. There are just a couple of updates here. I understand there are 7 candidates who are running.
That's correct. 7 candidates. A special thank you to those candidates.
Yeah, it's a great way to volunteer and try to do the best you can for your community and your neighbors. I would just like to mention that the Meet the Candidates Forum, where folks can learn a little bit more about those 7 candidates. They'll be asked questions and given opportunity to answer. That is on Friday, August 25th, from 10:30 to 12:30 in the Community Center Boardroom. And that will also be broadcast right here on Channel 6 at Village Television. Meet the Candidates will be rebroadcast several times. A couple times, excuse me, August 29th and September 26th. And then if you would like to check out recorded candidate statements, tune in to TV6 on August 29th, and then several dates up there on the screen where you can watch those on TV6. I would just like to mention that ballots will be mailed on August 30th. They're due back September 28th and will be counted on the 29th. So you're going to want to be sure to vote. Be sure to look for important election materials and information that are going to be coming to each manor in United. You want to review those instructions very carefully to make sure that your vote gets counted. So that's going to be a busy time for United.
It is, and just a reminder, we have 6,323 manors, members in United. Last year we had just under 2,000 that cast ballots, so we encourage a whole lot more people to get involved and cast those ballots. And these board members will serve from October of this year to October of 2026, so it's an important election.
It is important, and you know, as always, we want to encourage people to vote. And you want to hear their voices and have them participate in the process of leadership. So
that's right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tom, for being with us today. We certainly appreciate your time, and we look forward to more news and information from the United Board soon.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Thank you. Be sure to stay tuned when we come back. There will be, as Mark mentioned earlier, there will be a special golf safety video hosted by VMS Golf Operations Manager Tom McCrae. Thanks again for being with us.